Tonight, tallying up the trouble with fireworks.
The event can become quite chaotic quite quickly.
A police breakdown of Canada Day chaos in Kitchener's Victoria Park. And other events.
That's just a recipe where there's going to be significant injuries.
Now on the radar. Cambridge on the map for copper theft.
Over the past several years, the price for copper has gone up. That's made it a valuable commodity.
Why a local city is in the spotlight over crimes with the valuable metal. Kissing an old chapter goodbye.
So this is a major rehabilitation.
A Waterloo Region landmark shutting down for a long time.
I'm happy to hear the work is being done finally. I am totally appalled at the length of time that's being proposed.
To get a big makeover. Good evening. We begin with new details tonight on the effort to crack down on Canada Day chaos in Kitchener's Victoria Park. The region's police board discussing ongoing problems with young people setting off fireworks dangerously into busy areas. CTV's Krista Simpson is here now with the details from that meeting today. Krista.
Well, Tony, this is something that began in 2023 and has continued every Victoria Day and Canada Day since. Waterloo Regional Police say they were expecting it to happen this year and they were prepared. Some of the details around that operation were discussed today at the Police Service Board monthly meeting. Kitchener's Victoria Park and neighboring streets, once again a place where young people gathered, shooting fireworks dangerously this past Canada Day.
At about 5 p.m., youth began to gather in the park, and our deployment strategy was to be very proactive with our officers.
Regional police say 75 additional members were assigned to Canada Day 2025 operations.
One of the strategies that we did use was to have some plainclothes officers in the crowd that could direct us to go where we could more effectively with the resources that we had.
What I can say for anyone who's down there is that the event can become quite chaotic quite quickly.
Fireworks were seized, and by late evening, the park was closed and cleared. Police saying all groups of young people were moved from nearby streets by 11:45 in the evening. Police estimating their additional costs for the day at $85,750. 10 people were arrested and 22 charges laid.
Our members are outnumbered by these large crowds at certain times. So I thought it was a well executed plan.
A plan that naturally draws some comparisons to policing St. Patrick's Day partying by university students in Waterloo.
The dynamic of the crowd at St. Patrick's Day is actually easier for us to deal with than this issue that we had on Canada's Day.
And while St. Patrick's Day parties usually take place all around one street, Victoria Park is much more spread out. Plus, there's the city-run celebration not far away at Kitchener City Hall to think about.
That was of great concern, to make sure that we didn't have those fireworks events in an area that is very densely packed, because that's just a recipe where there's going to be significant injuries.
Police remain concerned about the risks and the costs.
We don't want any of this to grow, and we don't want anyone to have the perception that it's a free opportunity to act unlawfully, because the community was at risk for some of the behavior that we saw.
While there were no reports of serious injuries this year, there have been some in the past, for instance, some minor burns. Police saying after each operation, they debrief with their partners about lessons learned. Tony.
Okay, CTV's Krista Simpson reporting live with the details from that police board meeting. Krista, thank you. Okay, time now for a first check on the weather. Let's check in with Alex Pinto, who's live on location tonight in Cambridge. You know, it feels a little cooler out there lately, Alex, but this is the final weekday edition of Cambridge Summer Live. And on the agenda tonight, something to do with some furry friends, I understand?
Yeah, some furry friends. Tony, is going to be quite the show. Lots of excitement here. Ultimates going to be here live starting at 6:30. So setup is just getting underway. Melissa Millett, so the founder, lead trainer, is joining us live as you're getting ready for this. So I know you're going to show us a couple tricks in just a second, but first, what can people expect to see tonight?
We have all sorts of dogs, animal actors. We have a dog from Priscilla, Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. We have one of the stars of Caught Stealing. And we're going to do like jump rope, slam dunk a basketball, and some crazy tricks you've probably never seen.
I love it. So before we chat again, Tonic, a very famous feline, is here, who's going to do a couple tricks of what we can expect to see before Tonic has to get ready for the big show tonight. So he's going to take a couple minutes. Yes, and Tonic recently in an upcoming movie too, which is pretty exciting to see. But yeah, just getting ready. Okay, look at this. And you know what? Especially with training cats, I'm always so impressed by this. Oh, look at that. How cute. Oh my gosh. All right. Are you going to jump? There you go. Awesome. Way to go, Tonic. A couple things, and that's not easy to do. How did you get into this? And also these cats and dogs that are part of your show too, many are rescues, some even have disabilities, and you're really giving them a second chance.
Yeah, there's actually 3 deaf dogs and 1 deaf cat. I started this when I started my dog training school completely by accident. We wanted to promote the school. We did a show to promote the school, and an agent called on the first day. And
really quick, Tonic, you were chatting to me a bit before. Big role with some big names in an upcoming movie.
With Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Bad Bunny. It's called Caught Stealing. It comes out in theaters August 29th, and we filmed this in New York City for 3 months last summer.
That is so cool. So we've got a celebrity feline on our hands. Okay, well, best of luck tonight. I'm so excited to check out the show. We are going to be here live, too, throughout. Thank you so much. But beautiful conditions, too. We're seeing a little bit of cloud cover, though. But, yeah, we're not feeling that extreme heat, that extreme humidity as we take a live look from our satellite and radar map. Yeah, not too much to report. Again, rain holding off, so lucky for us here. Right now, it is 20 degrees in Kitchener-Waterloo, 18 if you're in Hamilton, 19 in Goderich. So we're noticing some more cooler conditions. But we're still feeling that humidity, especially with the rain that we saw yesterday and even first thing today, this morning. So feeling more like 25 in KW, 27 in London, 24 it feels like in Goderich. Okay, so setup is getting underway here at the Ultimates event for Cambridge. Summer Live, and already some families are starting to get their seats, get ready for the show. It is happening at 6:30.
Alex, thank you very much for that. Okay, we are going to move on now and discuss the situation with Air Canada. Of course, the strike coming to an end, and the return to service continues tonight. More flights taking off as flight attendants learn more about the tentative deal that did end that work stoppage. Passengers affected are seeking some more clarity about their financial options and continuing to untangle their plans. Here's CTV's Sean Leathong.
The journey ending in Toronto, passengers arriving after the strikes end with a sigh of relief.
We had to call Air Canada yesterday just to make sure the flights are still on track, and I guess we were lucky.
As they get planes off the ground and in the air, Air Canada is aiming to return to 80% of capacity, but many of those arriving are feeling
tired, frustrating, but at least they got us where we wanted to be.
After the 3-day strike, direct flights have been hard to find. A canceled flight for Seema Pillay was supposed to be Vancouver to Toronto, but changed to
from Surrey, driving to Seattle, Seattle to St. Louis, staying there for 8 hours, then coming through over here, Toronto Airport.
For those trying to get home,
not great, I can't lie. Not looking forward to it.
Christopher Field and Sophia Stevens had a direct flight to the United Kingdom.
Now it was Ottawa to Toronto, Toronto to Lisbon, Lisbon to Porto, and Porto to Gatwick. So we've got quite a few connections to make.
We were told that if we don't get this flight, then we won't be home until September the 3rd.
Christina Robertson was supposed to fly Toronto to Edinburgh on Saturday, instead spending 4 days here trying to book another flight.
And every time I'd click on a flight to try and change the flight, it said, no, this is no longer available. Phone Air Canada. And when I phoned Air Canada, they said they had so many calls that they couldn't take any more, and the call was terminated.
Now a longer journey with a stop in Montreal and Dublin before getting home to Scotland, and frustration for the 4 extra days in the city.
It's going to take me about 6 months to be able to kind of pay it all off and save up.
Air Canada says they will cover some costs as they try to lift up their damaged reputation.
So what we've done is we're telling people we're going to reimburse you, if you want to book a flight on your own on another carrier.
But at this point, of the over 500,000 customers that were affected, it's unclear who will qualify.
Sean Leathong with that update from Pearson Airport. Waterloo Region is emerging as a hotspot in a troubling trend across the country. CTV's Karis Map explains where copper thefts are being reported at an alarming rate and what's being targeted.
According to a release recently published by Bell, the parent company of CTV, copper thefts are up 23% year over year, with over 500 cases this year alone. 63% of those crimes happening in Ontario. Often, thieves will cut telephone wires to strip the increasingly valuable metal.
That's made it a valuable commodity for thieves who, whether it's stealing it from telecommunications networks or electrical utilities or construction sites. They try to take copper and sell it as scrap metal for profit.
Cambridge being named a hotspot for these crimes, specifically the Galt area.
We've seen 75 events so far this year alone, which is quite a bit of activity. That's up from 44 last year. And, I would say nationally, that region is one of the hottest regions in all of Bell territory.
When these wires are cut, they impact not only company operations, but also customer services.
This is a health and safety issue. If people are in trouble and need to call 911 and their services have been knocked out and they cannot contact emergency services.
Rogers seeing a similar surge, noting there have been 14 service interruptions due to vandalism in Waterloo Region and surrounding areas in the last year. In an emailed statement to CTV, a Rogers spokesperson said police are engaged when a theft is reported. Waterloo Regional Police say as of August 17th, over 100 cases of scrap metal or wire thefts under $5,000 were reported in Cambridge, and 30 reports have been over $5,000. Most recently, a downed cable line was reported across Avenue Road. Roughly 100 meters of Bell cable had been severed from the utility pole, the suspect making off with 30 feet of copper wire. The estimated cost and damage for the theft exceeding $30,000 in repairs and replacement. Telecommunication giants continue trying to combat the practice.
They're investing millions of dollars in enhanced security, whether it's monitoring with humans, whether it's monitoring using technology. But you have to remember, we've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of kilometers of cables traversing this country. So you can't keep your eyes on all of it.
Karis Map, CTV News, Cambridge.
And a reminder to stay connected with us through the CTV Kitchener newsletter. Start each day in the know with our local content right to your inbox. We've got today's top stories, the latest forecast, and some must-see videos. You can sign up at ctvnewskitchener.ca. There will soon be an improved transit connection to a popular local ski resort. Coming up, CTV's Ashley Bacon on the changes now underway near Chicopee, but also why it could be some time before people can use the new transit stop.
I'm Heather Center, and the historic Kissing Bridge in West Montrose is closed while it gets a major makeover, and it will stay closed for more than a year. Find out when the 144-year-old structure will reopen just ahead.
Some cloud cover and cooler but comfortable conditions here in Cambridge as we get ready to enjoy the Ultimates show that is set to get underway at 6:30 tonight. Plenty of entertainment and a great night to get out with the family. We'll have your full forecast coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news.
Two truck drivers U.S. authorities say were instrumental in bringing huge amounts of cocaine into Canada on behalf of accused drug kingpin Ryan Wedding intend to plead guilty in an American court. As CTV's John Woodward reports, there is a sign that the pleas could make life tougher for their fugitive former boss.
At the Port Huron border crossing 1 year ago, American Customs and Border Protection officers pulled over a truck headed to Canada. American court documents say an X-ray revealed this compartment hidden in the rear of the trailer, as well as tools that matched its screws and bolts. Inside, cocaine wrapped in cellophane, 115 bricks with a net weight of 124 kilograms. The officers estimated it was worth $3.75 million.
124 kilograms is a lot of drugs. Somebody's losing a lot of money there.
American authorities say the two alleged Canadian truck drivers, Iqbal Singh Virk and Ranjit Singh Rowell, were part of a sprawling drug trafficking network run by Ryan Wedding. That's the former Canadian snowboarder who competed in the Olympic Games in Salt Lake City in 2002. The FBI says he became a kingpin, moving 1,800 kilograms of cocaine from Colombia through Mexico to the U.S. and Canada. His alleged partner, Andrew Clark, was arrested in Mexico last year. Wedding is still on the run. The FBI put Wedding on their top 10 wanted list.
He chose to become a major drug trafficker, and he chose to become a killer.
Canadian law enforcement believe Wedding is connected to at least 4 murders in Ontario, including a brazen shooting of a Caledon family. It turned out it was mistaken identity. That family was innocent. 2 others accused of running the Canadian distribution network for Wedding appeared in a Toronto court Wednesday. The Americans are seeking their extradition, and another man accused of being a cocaine courier has already consented to going south of the border. Documents say the truck drivers intend to plead guilty in California to charges with a maximum sentence of life, but they may get a deal.
And if these folks are testifying against Wedding or other higher-ups, that's going to help the investigation immensely. And I would presume that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Cooperation like that, as well as a $10 million reward for information leading to his arrest, could be pulling the web around Wedding even tighter. John Woodward, CTV News.
Kissing an old chapter goodbye. The historic Kissing Bridge in Woolwich Township is almost 150 years old, but it's showing its age. So the region's shut it down for more than a year now as a major makeover gets underway. CTV's Heather Senerin just back from West Montrose with all the details. Heather, we are talking about really an iconic structure here in the region.
It's one of the oldest covered bridges in Canada, Tony, and it is said to be the only remaining one of its kind in the province. But it isn't just a tourist attraction. Many people use it in the community to get around, but that won't be the case for at least the next 16 months.
The West Montrose covered bridge was given the nickname the Kissing Bridge because PDA was frowned upon back in the day when it was built 144 years ago.
When it was only horse and buggies around, that would be the place to kind of sneak a kiss with your partner while traveling and get some privacy.
This out-of-town couple couldn't help but sneak a smooch on the bridge as they celebrate their 21st anniversary with a little adventure.
We bought a little pass called Guess Where Trips, and they do like little itineraries where they send you on like a road trip for the day at different locations, and this was the second stop.
The couple made it just in time for the bridge to close for construction. The region, who took ownership of the bridge in the late 90s, calls it a major rehabilitation.
We're going to be strengthening the structure to ensure that it remains safe for many years to come. So we're going to be replacing worn out wood. We're going to be replacing the roof, the siding, the floor system.
The $12 million makeover means the Kissing Bridge will stay closed until the end of 2026.
I'm happy to hear the work is being done finally. I am totally appalled at the length of time that's being proposed.
Hans Podcamper says his trip to the mailbox goes from 600 meters to a 4-kilometer trek with the closure of the bridge. But his biggest concern is with the alternate route, Line 86. He says it will be most difficult for many of his neighbors who are Mennonites.
Well, they can cross the bridge, but there's no allowance. So you've got 90-kilometer-an-hour traffic going past horse and buggies.
The region says the rehabilitation work will maintain its iconic outer appearance, but inside will be a different story.
The old steel support that is currently visible will be removed, and the wooden truss will be exposed and will be the main load-carrying component.
The work ensuring the Kissing Bridge is built to last.
Having it serve as a major tourist attraction and cultural heritage site for many years to come.
Last year, the budget for repairs was just over $6 million. A few months ago, it was pegged at around $10 million. And now, as you mentioned, it has ballooned to $12 million. The region says the budget does include provincial and federal grants. Tony.
Senator, with that update, thank you, Heather. Kitchener's Chicopee Ski Resort is getting closer to having its own dedicated transit stop. But as CTV's Ashley Bacon tells us, riders will likely have to wait until next year before it's put into service.
Building a better connection between the community and Chicopee.
We're just so happy that it's come. It's been a long process actually to even get it constructed. So if we have to wait a little bit longer, we can do that.
This sidewalk has been laid in preparation for the new Chicopee Loop, but riders will have to wait until spring before the new route will be in service.
This provides us an opportunity to connect directly to the site, and then that route that will serve Chicopee will also connect directly to Fairway Station, providing seamless connection to Ion Light Rail and Ion Bus in the community.
We're anxious to get going as soon as we can because we think it's great for the public and great for our staff. But again, to just have it, we're really grateful.
The $300,000 development is expected to wrap up in the fall with sidewalk access for pedestrians.
We have a lot of employees that ride the bus to work. They don't have that walk down the side of the road and through the snow, and they can get off right here, and we'll have a trail right into the chalet.
The loop will see the 27 bus actually enter Chicopee's main parking lot and include a lit-up pathway for riders with slight changes to the existing route to accommodate the new stop.
The loop will serve as the turnaround point. So from a rider's perspective, very little change. There's one stop impacted, and all we've done is moved it off of Quinte onto Morrison, so it's less than a 100-meter walk difference.
Although buses will not be modified with racks for sports equipment, passengers will be able to bring it on board.
So a ski bag or a snowboard bag, and you can hold it on board, you're welcome to bring it on board. So as long as it's bagged up and ready to come on board, you're allowed to board with it.
The development all part of a bigger picture for the resort.
We do have a long-term plan with the resort, and actually having transportation and access allows people who don't have cars, allows kids in the summer to come back to Chicopee with easy access.
As for the 2025 winter season, skiers and snowboarders are going to still have to make the 557-foot walk from the bus stop to the resort. Ashley Bacon, CTV News, Kitchener.
All right, we have a live shot from Cambridge now where a little bit of a crowd is building. And as we told you earlier, some animals are the stars of the show tonight at this event that's going on. Alex is going to be back in just a couple of moments to tell us more about it and about the forecast. Hopefully that rain holding off out there tonight at that event in Cambridge. Also coming up, he's 14 and he's revving it up in motocross. A Huron County teen who still has to wait 2 years to go pro is about to represent Canada in a major international competition. But next, On Patrol, the new National Guard presence in Washington, D.C. under President Trump's new orders.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Alex has taken weather on the road tonight to Cambridge. And Alex, we should let people know this is the final weekday for Cambridge Summer Live, which is a series of entertainment programs the city's been putting on all summer. And tonight you're at the Ultimates Animal Actors Show. And I just have to say something before you take it away. I'm a cat dad, as you know, and I was so surprised to see cats performing tricks like dogs. I almost had to take a minute to get it back together there after that last segment.
I was going to say, I think you've got to take some tips back to Effie, and then we're going to do our own little Ultimate show, and maybe I'll have to take some back to Kodak too. But
right now,
I know, very impressive.
Right now, the only tricks Effie will do is to judge me on demand and to show some attitude on demand, but I love her nonetheless.
That's okay. We do love Effie, but yes, we've got dogs, we've got cats here tonight as part of the last weekday event for Cambridge Summer Live. They do have a weekend event coming up, but the last time Ultimates is going to be here. They've been here a couple times throughout the summer. The show too is just about to get underway. We saw a pre-show taking place, but 6:30, so that's when the big show is taking place, and we're seeing some families already starting to make their way here to enjoy this entertainment. So setup has already happened, and it looks like, oh, okay, the show's getting underway. I'm going to let you take a peek at what they've got on the go. But yes, we've got plenty of entertainment, family friendly, and we're definitely putting a spotlight on our four-legged friends here. So the Ultimates, they're a group of internationally recognized Canadian cats, dogs, and of course their trainers, showcasing some amazing talent. Some of the animals actually perform in movies as well as TV shows. So they have acting skits to stunt dog skateboarding, jump rope, handstands, tightrope. Oh my goodness, look at this little one. Okay, we've got to listen to this. Just doing a couple jumps. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, the training, though, is extensive, obviously. And we've got a whole group of these pups and cats here, which is so great. Again, that list is endless. So many of these dogs and cats are actually rescues. Several of them have disabilities as well. So Melissa and her team here have taken them in and really given them a second chance at enjoying. Oh, my goodness. Oh my gosh, look at this. I'm already distracted, Tony, because this is just so cute. Look at this. I don't even know where you begin to train when it comes to something like this also, but oh my gosh. Okay, the crowd is loving it. The crowd is loving it. All right, Sugar, good job there. You know what? The weather, too, I've got to say, is pretty perfect out here tonight. Rainy rain that we were expected to see. We were seeing a slight chance earlier. That is expected to hold off, so mainly just a bit of cloud cover here as we look at our future cast. There is, though, a chance a little bit later. Potentially we could see some wet weather roll in, but just a slight chance. Again, 30% or so we're seeing at this point, but it is definitely more comfortable, more cool. As we get into your Thursday, a bit of cloud cover expected to stick around before that sunshine should make another appearance for your Friday. So definitely enjoying some more comfortable conditions today. So we've gone down a degree since the last hour. 19 it is in Kitchener-Waterloo, 21 in London, 22 in Goderich this hour, but we're still feeling a little bit of that humidity in the air, so feeling a little bit more like 24 in KW, 24 in Mount Forest, 24 if you are in the city of Toronto. Expected high for today, 24. So again, we are actually pretty much normal for this time of year, which is funny because we've been so used to that extreme heat, extreme humidity. It doesn't feel like this should be normal, but it's why it feels a little bit more cool when you step outside. Record high, 35 degrees. That was set back in 1955. And on this day in 1949, we saw an overnight record low of 4 degrees. Okay, so that sun now setting too. You might notice this a little bit more just before, or after rather, 8:15 p.m. So we're noticing the days are definitely shortening up a bit. So overnight conditions, 15 degrees, 30% chance of showers. So again, just a slight chance as we get into the overnight. And then for tomorrow, another expected high of 24 degrees with the humidity, 31. It's going to feel more like with a mix of sun and cloud. So yes, definitely feeling a little bit of that humidity from, of course, the showers that we're seeing. Okay, over the next 7 days, Waterloo region, mix of sun and cloud for your day tomorrow. Before that, sun, as we noted before, is expected to make a return for your Friday with a high of 28 degrees. And for Lambton, Kent, and Essex, mainly some cloud cover for you. Looking ahead to tomorrow, before that, sun also is expected to arrive for your Friday with a high of 28 degrees. And then a slight chance of showers is expected, 30% or so we're seeing to the start of your Saturday. At southern Georgian Bay, mix of sun and cloud for you as well. The high of 24 degrees. Sunny sky for your Friday. High of 27 is expected. And then it looks like we potentially could see a little bit of wet weather make its way for your Saturday and Sunday, but it's still a little bit early, so maybe Mother Nature will decide to change her course a bit. Okay, we're going to go back to the show because I see a basketball net and a ball and a pup. Okay? Oh my gosh. Slam dunk.
Nice.
I can't even do that, Tony.
No, nor can I.
Oh my gosh.
These animals are amazing, Alex, but you know what is just as amazing? You got to tell your photographer, Dan Lochner, I don't know if he can hear me right now, is him keeping up with these animals as they move around. That was a great little live action we got there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is like the best assignment for Dan and I. You have no idea. We got a dog lover, a cat lover. We got all the entertainment here, and it's action packed. It's hard to follow along. So yeah, the crowd's still building. We got another pup making its way out to center stage here, and I don't know how they don't get stage fright, but hey, I guess some of them, again, they're used to being on TV, right, Tony?
Absolutely, yeah. Very impressive. They are stealing the show. Okay, we'll get another taste later on. Thank you, Alex.
They are.
Since U.S. President Donald Trump declared a crime emergency in Washington, D.C. 9 days ago, hundreds of armed National Guard troops have been called in to patrol, even though local officials say crime has actually gone down in that city. CTV's Judy Trin has the latest.
An angry welcome for 3 of Donald Trump's top officials as they walked into Union Station to greet the National Guard. The concerns of protesters were dismissed.
We do not have to allow our cities to be taken over by violence and by disorder and by chaos.
The voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots. They have no connections to the city.
But the organizers of this protest are from the city.
We're under a military occupation of our city. This is fascism, this is racism. It's directly targeting Black and brown and working class communities in D.C.
Last week, Trump, citing a crime emergency in Washington, D.C., took over the local police force and called in the National Guard. Since then, the White House says nearly 500 people have been arrested and more than 20 homeless encampments have been dismantled. Hundreds of National Guard members have been stationed near subway stations and national monuments.
Sometimes our mere presence has a deterrent effect on criminal activity, and that's really what we're trying to provide.
The guards have also been patrolling the poor, predominantly Black and immigrant neighborhoods of D.C. Washington's mayor says that crime is on the decline in the capital, and there's no need for the military to be involved.
You know what doesn't make sense? The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C.
By law, Trump can only use the National Guard for 30 days without congressional approval. But the president has already said he wants an extension to his emergency order. Judy Trin, CTV News, Washington, D.C.
And a warning, this next video may be disturbing to watch and to hear. Peel Regional Police investigating what they are calling a hate-motivated assault captured on camera at a Tim Hortons in Mississauga last month.
Go back to India, you cockroach! Get the out of Canada!
This happened around 6 a.m. July the 19th. Police say a customer at a Tim's location on Lakeshore Road confronted an employee and uttered racial and derogatory slurs. He also allegedly spat on the victim before walking out.
Our goal with putting not only the video out, but some audio to capture this voice and the absolutely repugnant things that he had to say is that if he's going to watch it, someone knows who this is. If he's watching it, turn yourself in. This is not becoming behavior of an adult or anyone in Canadian society. We want to catch this guy.
And police say the suspect left in a white 4-door Ford truck, and they're working to figure out its license plate. The victim did not suffer any lasting physical injuries. Ford's frustration over the struggles of the steel industry. Coming up, the Premier's new comments on how tariffs are impacting a major Ontario employer and his government's pledge to help workers. Ontario's promising to invest $70 million to protect workers who were affected by tariffs, including those in the province's steel industry. CTV's Abigail Beeman now on the Premier's frustration that briefly boiled to the surface in Hamilton today.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford slammed Lourenço Gonçalves, the head of the American company that owns Ontario-based Stelco Steel, for his support of Donald Trump's tariffs.
And why doesn't he just stay in the U.S.? Because I'm done with this guy signing letters saying, yeah, bring all the steel down to the U.S., tariff the crap out of Canadians. This is the owner. So remember that, Stelco workers, when your owner comes prancing through your place. He doesn't support you. And I look forward to getting a phone call from him because he has my cell number.
Thank you.
I'm going to blast him.
Ford then apologized for getting heated. At one point, he even mused the province should buy Stelco. Stelco was purchased by American company Cleveland Cliffs last year for $3.4 billion. Its CEO has praised Donald Trump's tariffs as recently as Monday, blaming Canada and Mexico for supporting tariff circumvention schemes. Neither Stelco nor Cleveland Cliffs responded to CTV questions about Ford's comments. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Thank you for that, Abigail. Okay, CTV's Leanne Evans in studio with us now to recap our top stories tonight. Leanne, we're going to start with that discussion today at the Police Services Board over what's become kind of a hot topic in Waterloo Region.
Yeah, the big sticking point here, young people setting off fireworks dangerously into busy areas like Kitchener's Victoria Park. In anticipation to this Canada Day and the festivities around it, regional police say 75 additional members were put on duty. Police estimating their additional costs for the day at $85,750. 10 people were arrested and 22 charges laid. Copper thefts are being reported at an alarming rate, and Waterloo Region is emerging as a hotspot in the troubling trend across the country. There's been 75 thefts in Cambridge so far this year. That's up from 44 last year. Thieves will cut telephone wires to strip the metal, a crime telecom companies say puts public safety at risk.
And Leanne, looking at what our digital team has on the website, I'm loving this trend that we're talking about here. Last night we had a story about how you can become a millionaire. Tonight we've got a different story up about how you can win money as well.
You possibly could. Nearly $900 million. Ooh. Okay? Up for grabs. But this one is in the U.S. Powerball lottery. So it has a lot of Canadians wondering if they're eligible. Well, we'll tell you there is a way to play. You can find out how by scanning the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app, or go to CTV News Kitchener. .ca. So, hey, $900 million. Check out those eligibility rules. See if it's, you know, something you can play in.
As soon as you said the word Powerball, I was no longer surprised by the big amount. Those are some massive jackpots in that lottery.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Oh, we can dream.
We sure can.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
This next story is about the unusual rescue of a man trapped in mud near Ottawa yesterday and the role that technology played in getting to him quickly. It's not clear how he ended up in the mud. No one was around. Dispatchers used his cell phone's GPS coordinates to get to him. CTV's Katie Griffin has details.
911 Ocean City Police, fire, or an ambulance.
In thick mud up to his waist and unable to move, a man in Orleans did the only thing he could: call for help.
So in this situation, we were very lucky that this caller had a cell phone that could map where he was exactly. There were no landmarks around, no buildings, nothing to pinpoint exactly where he was.
Dispatchers retrieved the man's GPS coordinates using data from nearby cell towers.
For this particular caller, we had a very small location of where he was in the middle of the forest, in the middle of mud, but the problem was the roads ended up here and there was a big forest and mud and bog. And he was very much in the middle.
They sent location information to a tablet firefighters have with them.
So we were then able to map where the firefighters were walking along the trails that they found and how close they were getting to the patient.
The red circle is the general location of where the phone call was received from.
The same technology used to find me in a forest.
For some people, it can be difficult to describe exactly where they are just verbally, so this gives us an opportunity to leverage technology to our advantage and gives us one more tool in the toolbox to be able to locate somebody.
Technology and teamwork in action.
So our dispatchers went above and beyond at this call, like they do for every call, not only finding his location quickly for the firefighters to get to him, but also stayed on the line with him the entire time to keep him calm. They even went as far as to call his wife, who was at a physio appointment expecting him to pick her up, let her know what was happening, reassured her that we were going to rescue him and that everything was okay.
Getting ready to rev it up at the Olympics of motocross. Coming up on CTV News, the 14-year-old from Huron County who's already punching above his age class and is now off to represent Canada at a world-class competition. A Huron County motocross racer is getting ready to represent Canada on the international stage. The teen has qualified to compete in what's known as the Olympics of Motocross. CTV's Scott Miller reports.
Caleb Van Koenen pulls on his Yamaha jersey for practice at Moto 86 near Wingham. But in a little over a month from now, that will be a Canadian jersey on his back.
I'm just so excited. It's a great opportunity. I'm not really going there to win, but I'm just gonna go, have some fun, and it's just a great experience, so I'm super excited.
At the ripe old age of 14, Van Koenen will ride for Team Canada at the upcoming Motocross of Nations taking place this fall in Indiana. He's one of 9 amateurs and 3 pros selected to pull on the Canadian colors at the world-class event known as the Olympics of Motocross.
I'm just so grateful to be able to, do this. I'm really fortunate to have the financial stability and, my team, MX101, Yamaha, and they're super good supporters, and I've been putting in so much work. So, yeah, I'm so happy to be able to do this.
The young Huron County native has been riding motocross since the age of 4. In the 6th grade, he signed a lucrative sponsorship deal with Kawasaki, becoming one of the youngest riders to do so in Canada. He has since moved over to Yamaha, but motocross is not just a pastime or hobby for Van Koenen. It's his job as he pushes towards turning pro, which can't happen until he turns 16.
I've been putting tons of work in. I was down in Texas for a month and a half by myself, just training and putting as much work as I can. And then, we're going to go back probably after Indiana. We'll go back down and keep grinding again.
Last year, 36 nations were represented at the Motocross of Nations, which has been running since 1947. Canada ended up 15th last year. Van Koenen hopes to change that, but mostly plans to soak in his first, but probably not last time, representing Canada on the track.
It'll be a great experience, get to see some new people, and just represent Yamaha.
Near Wingham, Scott Miller, CTV News.
We wish him the best, and any of you who grew up with the first Nintendo system, NES, like I did, might have been getting flashbacks to the game Excite Bike while you were watching that. In any event, let's check in with Omar now to find out what's coming up on CTV National News.
Tonight, the complicated path home for passengers.
Toronto to Lisbon, Lisbon to Porto, and Porto to Gatwick. So we've got quite a few connections to make.
What Air Canada is now offering up to compensate frustrated flyers. Later on CTV National News.
All right, well, Pickles just finished driving a car here at the Ultimates show. Lots of fun family entertainment taking place. And lucky for us, the weather is actually holding off quite nice out here. I'll take a closer look, though, at how your morning is looking at Wake Up Weather coming up after the break.
Here's your Wednesday night lineup at 7 o'clock. Join us for Match Game before Master Chef at 8. Then at 9, it's Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service before Battle of the Generations.
It's Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning.
3 awesome people that want to start your day or finish your overnight shift.
You'll laugh, you'll text, you'll call, you'll scratch your head, and maybe even beat Backstage Ben. Weekday mornings from 5:30 to 10.
Listen live on the iHeartRadio app or at 105.3 Virgin Radio.
Let's check in with Leanne one more time to find out about a story that we're working on for later tonight. Leanne.
Tony, the hockey community is coming together this week. A tournament honoring Eli Palfreyman, the late Ayr Centennials captain, gets underway tonight. He was just 20 years old when he died after collapsing in the dressing room during a preseason game in 2022. Puck drop on the Eli Palfreyman Memorial Tournament is 7 p.m. tonight at the North Dumfries Community Center. Colton Weens is there. He'll bring us more at 11:30. Tony.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. Leanne, thank you very much. And let's get a final check on the forecast now as we head back to Cambridge one more time with Alex, who's been enjoying all of the tricks and talents that our furry friends have been showing us out at this special show tonight. Alex, really, when we started this segment, I'm not sure quite what I was expecting to see, but it's already blown away my expectations. I'm sure the crowd on hand really enjoying it there, too.
Oh, yeah, you and me both, Tony. I was shocked at, and we were talking about it before, how do you even train cats and dogs to do the tricks that they're doing? Every few minutes, the crowd is going crazy, and we've been seeing so much fun and great talent here just outside of Cambridge City Hall. So that show's still going on. It is going to be wrapping up shortly, but then there's going to be a meet and greet with some of the cats and dogs, and the kids get to actually meet them a little bit. Oh, it looks like we're going to get into some scooter and some skateboarding here. So again, this is the Ultimates Animal Actor Show, all part of Cambridge Summer Live. So this is the last weeknight event of the summer. Hard to believe. I guess a sign that summer is coming to an end. So lots of free entertainment for all ages. Throughout the summer, they actually had concerts, dog shows like this one, and cat shows, I should say, busker entertainment. But this one's really shining that spotlight on our four-legged friends here. And yeah, they're internationally recognized. These cats and dogs, the trainers as well. And some of them are actually in movies, TV shows, which we heard a little bit earlier. We saw some stunts. We're going to see a couple more stunts here, too. Oh, there's another one going. Oh, my goodness. There's honestly entertainment. Oh, my gosh, she's on a skateboard.
Look at that.
Take a look at that. I can't even. I don't even know what to say because I'm just so blown away by this.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that little guy go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so all of these cats and dogs, too, really given a second chance. Many of them are rescues that they've trained as well, the group here. So it's, yeah, like we said, no shortage of entertainment. And, like, I'm just blown away by the talent because I don't think I could do that.
No, a little doggy is giving me Tony Hawk vibes there, Alex.
Right? Oh, my gosh, I know. But you know what? Conditions, though, tonight, Tony, have been excellent. I've got to say, it's been a little bit cooler, which is great to enjoy. Mainly some overcast conditions. When we look at your wake-up weather for tomorrow, starting the day, partly cloudy conditions by 6 a.m., 15 degrees or so, and then it should turn to mainly sunny sky. So, yeah, we could see a little bit of cloud cover on and off throughout the day, but really, in terms of any washout conditions that we saw yesterday, that is not expected. And Friday looking pretty good as well. So still pretty perfect conditions for the Ultimates show here tonight in Cambridge. Tony.
All right, Alex, love it. Thank you so much. Yes, we could have watched those animals all night down there. But that is all the time we have for tonight. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us. We will be back at 11:30 after CTV National News. Have a good night.